Okay, so now I have my image, which is right here on a different tab. I have other images open. You don't need to worry about those. But the idea is that, well, your first step was downloading the images and then finding them in your downloads folder, opening them in Photoshop. You can drag them into the Photoshop icon and they open, or you can open them by going to File, Open, and locating the image and opening it. And what will happen is that they open on tabs, right? As you can see, like think of this as website tabs. If you're on a browser and you have several websites open, you see these tabs. Now, how can I take this image from this window onto my canvas, which is where my work is happening? What you can do, first of all, it's a good idea not to work with any tool except the Move tool. So click on the letter V to go to the Move tool. And then click on your Maria Callas image on its tab, and then hover over the tab, click and drag it out to separate it from the list of open tabs of open images. Once you do that, you will see that obviously you are able now to see the image of the opera singer and your canvas. So you need to see both in order to be able to drag this image from where it is onto your new canvas. So let me go ahead and do that. Click on her image and then drag it towards your canvas. Alright, so this is what you need. As you can see, every time you drag something from a different file onto your canvas, you will see that a new layer gets created. So that's wonderful. And we can go ahead and create, actually call this layer Callas top left. And let's position this image at the top left. I just zoomed out by hitting Command minus, and I'm going to take this image. Again, remember I'm on the Move tool, right? I use the Move tool to move my images. So I'm going to position this corner, this bottom left corner, right here. Okay. Now, if you're not zoomed in, if you're not zoomed out, actually, if you have a big view like this, you won't be able to do what I'm doing. So just make sure to zoom out, Command minus, and then go to Edit, Transform. Okay, so Edit Transform allows you to scale things down, scale them up, rotate an image, distort it, create perspectives, all sorts of things are under Edit Transform. Now the shortcut to Edit Transform, again, when you become used to using Photoshop, you will need these shortcuts, is Command T, right? Because transform, the first letter is T. So that's what I did. I hit Command T, and this is what I got. I have these edges around my image now, and all I need to do is just hover over this top right corner, and then holding down the Shift key, and this is very, very important. I'm holding down the Shift key and I want to scale down her image until I reach, using my judgment, a good size. Now, if I don't hold down the Shift key, what is going to happen? Right now, I'm not holding down the Shift key, and in my opinion, I'm scaling it down. But you know what I can do? I can make a mistake and distort her image, okay? So now it looks squished, and so it's a very bad practice to change the size of your image without holding down the Shift key. The Shift key preserves the proportion of an image, okay? Especially when it's a face, it's a figure, it's a body. We can't distort the proportion. So hold down the Shift key, hover over the top right corner and drag that down, and that's it. And then hit the Enter button, and then that's your first that's your first top left square. Now, what is this square going to be colored? This blue color. Okay, how do I get this blue color? I can either use my judgment, visually try to match this blue, or what I can do is just take a screenshot. To take a screenshot, you can hit Command Shift 4, Okay, and then take a screenshot of this whole thing. It goes down to your desktop, and then open that image. File, open, go to desktop, and then locate the image. It's right here for me, and then open that. Okay, again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hover over the tab of the screenshot, click on it and drag it out because I need this blue color, right? So let me go ahead and use the eyedropper tool. To get to the eyedropper tool, I clicked on the letter I on my keyboard and hover over this blue and click once. The minute I clicked on this blue color, you saw that my foreground color in my color panel in the toolbox became that very blue. So now I have the blue. Okay, make sure to avoid clicking elsewhere. Like if you click right here, your color will change from blue to gray, so pay attention to this. Immediately switch back to the move tool by hitting the letter V. Okay, so what I need to do next is create a new layer and call it box top left, and I need to create a blue box over the image of Maria Callas. So let's go ahead and do that. Use the rectangular marquee tool. The fixed size is still 10 by 10 inches. Hover over to the top left corner, click once, and then your selection is created. And then to color a selection, what do? Hit Alt Delete. Okay, and then deselect. Obviously, we don't want this blue box to cover the image of the singer, and this is where we introduce the concept of blending modes. Blending modes is one of the things that I use most in Photoshop because blending modes give great effects and you can do so much with them. They're very easy to use. They're in the layers panel, and you see where it says normal, there's a drop down, and you can select one of the blending modes from here. Now you can do this again manually by trying one by one, or the shortcut to it, which is what I recommend, is holding down the shift key and then clicking plus. Okay, you see that I switched from normal to dissolve, and now I'm clicking on plus again, holding down the shift key, darken, multiply, color burn, and so forth. So what I'm doing is, remember, holding down the shift key and then clicking on the plus sign. If you click on the minus sign, it goes upwards. Okay, so in the meantime, you see what's happening, right, with the blue box. Every time you change one of your blending modes, a certain effect is happening with the image on the layer underneath. So let me go ahead and do the same thing now. Remember, you have to be on the layer of the blue box, because what you want to do is blend the blue box with whatever layer you have underneath, which happens to be the image of the opera singer. So hold down the shift key, click on plus. Dissolve didn't do much for me. Darken is giving me these weird green edges around the hair and the lips. I think multiply is a great effect, so I think I'm going to choose multiply. You can feel free to go ahead and try all of these options, okay? But I feel that to match what I have in that screenshot, I think I need to use the multiply option, which is right here. Okay, so let me zoom in, and it's beautiful, right? Now there's one thing happening that I'm not very comfortable with. Since our picture, the picture of the opera singer, ends right here, you see here there's some dirt, if you will. I don't know, it's like something dirty. It's because of, it happens that the white background of the singer has some light gray on that side. It's not completely white, that's why it didn't blend. So what we can do is just erase that part. Hover over the layer called Callas top left and take your eraser tool, and obviously make sure you have a soft brush selected, not a hard brush. So choose a soft brush and then just hover over this section, click and erase. Don't release your hand from the click. Okay, so I erased that little dirty vertical line. Okay, so we're done with our first square. What we need to do is just duplicate it and then change the color of the box.